Welcome to The Absurdist. I'm Sarah Painter, a journalist based in New York City-ish.
And I'm Hattie Eshelman, an artist and metalsmith living in Virginia.
And this week, Hattie is actually visiting me in New Jersey, technically. Been hosting for about a week, and we have something exciting to share in The Absurdist.
Yes. So The Absurdist is a podcast where we scour the earth for strange and unusual facts and events and present them to you so that you can learn new things and be inspired or possibly grossed out.
In today's episode,
we are talking about the creepiest employees that work at the Smithsonian,
pigeons and hats,
an unexpected hunting duo,
an uproar over chocolate syrup,
and an unlikely approach to dealing with spam emails.
But first, we are going to try something that perhaps should not be tried at home.
Oh no.
This week, a USA Today journalist received an email from an unhappy reader who completed a crossword puzzle with the clue, cookie that some people eat with mustard. The only answer that fit was Oreo.
Oh no.
Soon, so the journalist posted this on Twitter, a screenshot of the email, and I'm just going to read you a little blurb.
Yeah.
To the buffoons behind the USA Today crossword puzzle. Today's clue for 10 down was cookie that some people eat with mustard. I eventually filled in Oreo. I was confused, but willing to admit my ignorance for the sake of completing your godforsaken puzzle. And then I tried it. You... expletive. I would hope that given the cultural influence of the USA Today crossword puzzle, the puzzle masters would exert some sort of quality review for their clues. Oreos and mustard. I can now inform you with learned experiential certainty are wretched.
Oh no.
It goes on, but I decided we should find this out for ourselves, which is why I have brought Oreos and honey Dijon mustard.
All right.
Because that's what was in my fridge.
Honey Dijon.
Yeah.
Only the best.
Uh-huh. Okay, here we go.
All right. I'm legitimately scared.
Here's the thing. I know Hattie will try anything.
I really will.
And I asked her ahead of time, and I said, Hattie, if you don't want to do this, we can make our producer do it.
Yeah.
But...
You're going to do this with me, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I mean, I will do
That
it.
would be cruel.
It would. You're just like, Hattie's going to try this, and I'm going to watch.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Are we doing, like, a lot, or, like, maybe just half? Oh, you're doing it all.
Go for it.
Covering the thing. Okay.
Yeah, there you
This
go.
is going to spill. This is very, like, runny mustard.
Yeah, not the best.
Did you shake it?
No.
Sarah, do you know how to
Okay,
eat mustard?
cheers.
Cheers. All right. Wait. She's just going straight
Like
for
a
it.
shot.
All right.
Oh, no. That was really bad.
It's not great. It's really not great.
Okay.
And I really will eat anything.
Mm-hmm. You really will.
Well, we did it.
Well, Hattie,
Well, Sarah.
what's the review? Give
The
us
review is-
like, what does it taste like? Be vivid.
It tastes like vomit.
It does, actually.
It really
That's
does.
actually a good, she's taking off the part that has mustard, but she's gonna eat the Oreo.
Of course. Well, because I have to get the vomit taste out of my mouth. It legitimately tastes like vomit. What were you going to say it tastes like? Here, wait. Oh, no. I got some on the bottom part of it.
I mean,
That's
it tastes
bad.
like you blended up a pickle with an Oreo.
And that's saying something because Sarah hates pickles,
hate
as I
pickles.
learned today.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. That was...
The email goes on to
That was
say,
a lot.
who exactly are the some people that consume Oreos with mustard?
Who are these people?
I would
Who
like
are
to
these
learn with
lunatics?
them. If you could kindly provide their phone numbers and home mailing addresses, I would be most appreciative.
Oh, gosh. This is so bad. I have to drink some of my water now. I genuinely will eat anything. But this is bad.
Yeah. He also requested a refund of 14 cents, which was the cost of the 4 Altoids that he had to consume to get the taste out of his mouth. But he said he already had the mustard, and he would forgive the cost of the Oreo.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's just, like, so spiteful. It's like, you owe me 4 cents for all the Altoids.
14 cents.
14 cents, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
My mistake.
But with
Pardon
that,
me.
Hattie, I would like to hear your story.
Wow.
And I would
Wow.
also like my producer to give me an Altoid. Thank you.
Incredible. Thank you. Well, I'm about to have a story, so I'll set my Altoid to the side for later consumption. Okay, well, I am going to tell you a little bit about what some people might consider the Smithsonian's creepiest employees. And I was fascinated to learn about this.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So, museums, scientists, taxidermists have this issue of dealing with animal carcasses, right?
Right.
And sometimes they're ancient or very fragile, like a lot of bird carcasses. And so it's not... Do you know this one? It was so interesting when I learned this today. I was like, this is so cool, and how did I not know about it? Right, because you can't clean them off efficiently with human hands. And so the Smithsonian employs, I guess you could argue,
is a cool way to
you
look
could
at
make
it.
an argument
Yeah, right.
that the Smithsonian employs millions of beetles
Yeah.
to clean their animal skulls for them.
Yeah.
And in some cases, in a lot of cases, they just use like a fish tank with for smaller skeletons, skulls and such.
Yeah.
Or like small birds. But I was reading this one about them cleaning these condor carcasses, which obviously condors are huge.
Yeah, right.
And they can't fit a condor in a fish tank. And so they just have entire rooms where these thousands of beetles just roam around free, and they just put the condors in this room, and the beetles just happily eat off all the flesh, and then once it's picked clean, then the bones are ready to be arranged and set for the museum. And I don't know how I didn't know that there were these huge rooms in these museums just full of millions of flesh-eating beetles.
I feel like this is potential for like some kind of horror movie accident disaster.
I know.
You know? Like you accidentally fall into the flesh-eating beetle's room and you're knocked out and you wake up
and then
and
before you
you're
know
dead.
it, you wake up and you're dead. You wake up and you're just a pile of bones. Wow.
I just imagine these little beetles, they're beetles? They
Beetles,
come home,
yes.
You know, with their briefcase to their wife, and it's like, "How's your day at the office? It was great, hun. I brought this back from the museum with you. It's an eyeball.
I brought you some condor meat I knew you'd enjoy." I don't know. Yeah, it's so interesting. And I'm kind of wondering about this whole concept of employment, like, because technically the beetles are being given, like, room and board.
Ooh.
But it's also their job is to eat what they're being fed.
I like it. I'm glad you framed it that way.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's like, are these employees? And I'm
Okay.
like, how do you define what an employee is?
Yeah.
Like, they're exchanging work for food, but their work is eating the food, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think you have to give someone wages for it to be an employee. Otherwise, it's like indentured servitude.
Indentured servitude. Yes. So, no, it's fascinating. But they're called dermestid beetle colonies.
Wow.
And I have to read you this because this is the funniest thing ever. So you can purchase some for your very own if you had some skulls that you wanted to clean.
Perfect for serial killers.
Exactly. You can get, I think the smallest packages of beetles are maybe about like $50 for like a 350 count of beetles. And I just have to read you the website because I had to laugh when I read this. Okay, so it says dermestid beetles go to work for you. So they work so you don't have to. All super premium colonies are upgraded to ship free express.
Wow.
We check your weather, and hot or cold packs and insulation are also included for free to make sure your beetles travel in perfect comfort, so that they don't arrive dead, because that's not helpful.
No.
Your dermestid beetle colony will include a generous overcount of beetles and larvae.
Wow.
Bedding, because beetles lay more eggs in proper bedding. It actually says this on the website.
Wow.
Packed with food for trip to your door.
Wow.
Safe water gel. What? Deluxe.
Yeah.
Exactly. Safe water gel to water beetles, and then in parentheses it says, to prevent drowning and wet bedding.
Okay. Yes.
And then lastly, a water gel dish to offer to the beetle colony.
That is so cute.
This is how it is worded.
Wow.
So, there you go. If you wanted to buy a
Wow.
colony of domestic beetles for your very own, they are available. You can get them on buybeetles.com.
Hattie, if I ever call you and I need you to help me, dispose of a body.
Yeah.
I mean, how long does this delivery take?
Oh, well, so they said, I don't know if it's on this website, but I think it's on a different website. They said they make sure to only ship on Mondays and Thursdays, or Mondays and Tuesdays. So it
depends when
so that they
it
don't have to
happens.
wait over the weekend.
Yes.
So they're going to
Okay.
make sure that your beetles don't sit in a
Got
storage locker for the weekend, because that would just be inconvenient for everyone involved, especially the beetles.
Especially the beetles.
I know.
Well, I have a story about some critters that are a little bit larger.
Yeah?
Yes. It seems that Las Vegas pigeons are officially endorsing President Trump's re-election.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That is a headline.
So, campaigning for the 2020 presidential election in November is in full swing. And President Trump is touring around the country to hold rallies. He visited Las Vegas the week of February 19th. And there was this anonymous group called Pigeons United to Interfere Now.
Okay.
Which stands for Putin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is complex.
They put tiny Make America Great Again hats on pigeons and set them free in the city. Except one was actually wearing a Donald Trump wig. So you got one pigeon wearing a Donald Trump, because there's only one Donald Trump.
Is this an allegory? Is this a complex allegory of it's
well,
like a...
it was actually a sign of protest by someone who goes by the code name Cool Hand Luke. And
Coo spelled C-O-O.
yes,
maybe? Okay.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Like the sound a pigeon would make.
Yeah, and so it actually took months of planning.
Wow.
Yeah. So he found pigeons that were sick or injured or malnourished or like covered in oil.
What?
And he nursed them back to health and trained them and then enlisted them in this stunt. Attached the little hats with eyelash glue.
Wow.
Yeah. Which the group says comes off in a couple of days. And
oh my goodness.
the pigeons are trained to fly back to the coop. So
that their hats can be reapplied?
Well, no, the opposite. So the group can take it off.
Oh, okay,
safely
okay.
if it hasn't already come off.
Right.
And this Coo Hand Luke has told potentially concerned parties for the pigeons.
The pigeons.
I don't see any difference between this or people dressing up their dogs or cats.
I see his point, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, glue is like... I could see harm coming, but...
It's eyelash glue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway.
Wow.
MAGA hats. Is that how... Or MAGA. Make American Great.
Oh, I didn't know that there was like a pronounceable abbreviation for that.
Yes. Pigeons.
That is fascinating.
Yeah. I wish I had seen one.
I know.
So cute.
Where is it again?
Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I love the complexity of it.
Yeah. It's like art.
It is. I was thinking that. I was like, this is a work
Could be
of
an
art.
Artist.
Really.
Could be.
Genuinely. That is so interesting.
I want to know who Cool Hand Luke is, which actually, if I did a little research, we could probably get an educated guess, because how many people in Las Vegas know how to, like, have a pigeon coop and, like, know how to train pigeons?
Exactly.
We could probably figure it out.
Yeah. That is fascinating.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the end of my story. I want to hear about, what was the next one you mentioned? It sounded pretty interesting.
Unlikely hunting duo.
Yes, I want to hear.
Yes. So on our animal topic, the theme that we've apparently been going off of, I like it. So you'll learn about symbiotic relationships in middle school science class. And I feel like it's always the same couple of ones that are always repeated. Like, I always think of the rhinos and the little birds that sit on top of them and, like, eat the parasites. Can you think, are there any that, like, immediately come to mind for you?
No.
That's okay. I always put you on the spot with this. Think of the names.
To refresh my 6th grade science.
I know. I feel like my brain constantly lives in, like, 6th grade science mode because that's who I am as a person. I don't know. I love it. I loved 6th grade science.
Yeah, it was great.
It was so fun.
Projects. Anyway,
so I learned about a symbiotic relationship that is both surprising and delightful.
Okay.
Badgers and coyotes really like to hunt together.
That's so cute.
It's so cute. And there's a cute video on the internet of them, like, hanging out.
Aww.
But, so basically the way it works is that coyotes are really fast, so they can, like, run and catch things faster than badgers can.
Yeah.
And then badgers can burrow, and so if there's a squirrel that's hiding in a little hole, and the coyote can't get it, then the badger digs down and gets it.
Yeah.
And scientists have observed that they hunt much faster and more efficiently when they're together. And if you watch, like, this cute little video, it's just them. One of the coyotes, like, bouncing around. You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
So cute.
We'll have
really
we'll post it on on the
Mm-hmm.
Instagram and the website
Yeah.
for you all to see because it's really adorable and they look genuinely so happy to be together.
Best friends forever.
It's like a little Wind in the Willows, like, actually animated characters, except there aren't any coyotes in Wind in the Willows, but
Well,
it was really cute.
that is cute.
Yeah. So, badgers and coyotes. And now I want to learn about more symbiotic animal relationships that I didn't previously know about because there must be so many.
There are also parasitic relationships.
It's true.
Which I think, fascinated. I don't know.
More so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I have one that's not animal related.
Okay. I will forgive you.
Thank you. So there's a Republican Tennessee state lawmaker. His name is Kent Calfee.
Okay.
And he seems to like Hershey's chocolate syrup a lot.
More than normal people.
More than normal people.
All right.
But not everything is what it seems. So,
Okay.
this basically, let me just show you the picture. You can describe it for everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right. So you have an average middle-aged looking man in a suit and tie, and he is sitting at a desk, or I guess that's not quite a desk.
It's like a law, like they're like, in
He's
court,
sitting in a very
session.
official setting.
Yeah.
In a leather chair. There are other men in suits behind him, and he is very, very casually drinking out of a Hershey's syrup bottle.
Yes. So, this basically kind of disturbed everyone when a journalist named Natalie Allison posted a picture of this on Twitter. She said, as he waits for the state of the state to begin, Rep. Kent Calfee takes a swig from his Hershey's chocolate syrup bottle, as he often does during...
As he often does.
During the session.
Wow.
So, we got this picture of him taking a swig out of this Hershey's chocolate syrup bottle, and everyone was kind of, like, really disturbed. Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Turns out there is a reasonable explanation.
Okay.
He's actually...
Can I...
Yeah, please guess.
Well, okay, I saw a meme or something, like an internet joke once, that was like, life hack, empty out a Hershey's bottle and use it as a water bottle. And the person who posted it said something like, this gets me so many great looks at the gym of, like, she takes it to the gym and drinks water.
About that meme.
Have you remember it?
Yeah, I do.
That's what it makes me think of.
Okay, well, yeah, he's actually passionate about recycling.
And he's drinking water.
He's drinking water. Yeah.
Out of a Hershey's chocolate syrup bar.
Yeah, so he's
the meme come to life.
He is. He said, I was fixing to put it in the plastic recycling one day at home, and I thought, shoot, I can put water in that. And he said if he spent $25 on a water bottle, he'd probably just put it down and leave it somewhere.
Yeah.
So he actually keeps it in the drawer of his desk at work and refills it with water. So one outlet that was reporting on this actually asked him, well, have you ever drank Hershey's chocolate syrup from a bottle? And Yeah.
Haven't we all?
He said he hasn't. He
Wow.
said, I don't know that I've ever drank chocolate syrup.
Well, I thought we've all done that at some point in our lives. Did you ever do that?
Oh.
Just as a teenager, you just open the fridge and just like...
I would be much more likely
like, a
to do that
tablespoon
with whipped cream.
Oh, well, yeah, whipped
Yeah.
cream for sure. But
That's
Hershey's chocolate syrup, I feel like
Mm,
maybe that was just me and my weird friends.
I know my brother probably, I think, did.
Yeah.
But anyway, it caused quite an uproar.
Wow.
And that's my story.
Wow. I love that.
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
Okay.
So many twists and turns in that story.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, my last fact also has nothing to do with animals.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very
Okay.
in sync here.
Yes.
So my last fact deals with, as I said, an unlikely approach to dealing with spam emails. But first I want to make a note about the concept of absurdity itself. And I think absurdity is interesting because sometimes, for example, in the case of the Beatles, it's something that is absurd because it's, like, morbid and creepy in a sense, and, like, maybe gives people a bit of the heebie-jeebies. I love Beatles, actually, but I assume a lot of our listeners are probably like, ooh, gross.
Right.
But sometimes absurdity is about, like, delight and fun in a way that is just, like, surprising, like, surprisingly delightful.
Yeah.
And so my last fact, I want to kind of celebrate the people that make life surprisingly delightful by doing unexpected things. And so one of those people, his name is James Veitch. Have you heard of him?
No, I haven't.
Ryan's nodding. I'm wondering if Ryan's heard of him. So James Veitch is a comedian. I think he's from England. And he, as we all do, received spam emails.
Right.
But instead of deleting them, he decided to reply to them. And so, and he's a comedian, so it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But he replies, and he gives the person, like, just enough to keep them, like, emailing him to make them think that he's being serious and actually interested in their offer to, like, mail him gold or whatever.
Right.
And so he gives them, like, just enough to keep them coming back and emailing him, but he just, like, makes it more and more absurd, and he tries to see, like, how long he can keep them emailing him, and it's so funny, and he posts videos about them, so you should all go and watch them. But, like, my favorite one was someone had hacked his friend's email and was, like, asking for money, and so he just, like, made it more and more ridiculous, and he was, like, talking about how, like, what their lives had been like when they were, like, in love, which he had never been in love with this person. And he was like, but what about when we went to Tuscany? and he's like, which I've never been to Tuscany. And there's just, like, keeps getting more and more absurd. And he's like, but do you love me? And finally it gets to the point where he's like, fine, I will send money, but only after you write me a poem. And he's, like, trying to get this man somewhere in the middle, like, the Middle East, to write him a poem about, like, his undying love or something. And so it's just delightful and funny. And the best thing about it, I love this because it's, like, wholesome in the sense where he's like, what I'm doing is I am wasting these spammers' time.
Right.
So that they are spending less time
Chaotic
spamming
good.
the rest of you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Chaotic good.
Yeah.
So, James Veitch, hilarious. I have been very much enjoying his internet shenanigans. And, yeah, so that was something that I thought was delightfully absurd.
That is
And I wanted to celebrate the people that keep life interesting by doing absurd things.
Wow. Nice.
Ta-da!
That was lovely.
Yeah.
Well, I would now like to transition to our bizarre and banal segment.
Yes.
Where we present bizarre and banal stories from our own lives. I don't remember what mine was going to be. Do you remember?
I remember what mine was going to be.
Okay,
yes.
you go first.
Mine is a little long.
Okay.
So you might even, like, decide to riff off of one of mine.
Okay.
Because
Got it.
we've been hanging out together this week.
True.
So.
Yeah.
So, talking about bizarre and banal. I'm visiting you in New Jersey this week.
Right.
New Jersey/New York.
Yeah.
Because you work in New York, so I got to commute in and see your office, which was so fun. And I wanted to present to you some things from your own life that strike me as absurd. And we've talked about this a little bit over the week of, like, I would point something out and you'd be like, huh, I guess that is kind of weird, but I wouldn't have noticed it.
Yeah.
Because we all have things that seem like so normal to us. But then sometimes someone comes from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
So I have just
I'm excited.
kind of a random list of just like things that are more or less absurd from your life.
Okay. This is awesome.
Yeah. So we can start with work.
Okay.
I got to go visit Sarah at her work at, I guess I can say where because it's on your resume
Yahoo
and everything.
Finance.
Yahoo Finance, which is a very hip and current workplace that has stand-up desks that I accidentally like leaned on a button and realized there was an empty desk next to your desk, so I hung out there and did art things and collage and did blackout poetry and such, and I like leaned on the button and the desk started raising because it's a convertible stand-up desk, which was very cool. And they have like a free breakfast bar. I'm just setting the scene.
Coffee bar.
It was delightful.
Sushi for lunch.
We had like these phenomenal sushi bowls. Oh my goodness, it was so good. There's a meditation room.
Yeah.
Which reminded me of something they would have had at JMU, which is the college we both went to. So a couple of things that I found interesting. One, the empty desk that I was sitting at, there's this huge pile of books on it. And if you actually look at them, like, many of them haven't even been published yet. There's a little sticker that says when they are going to be published.
Yeah.
And people just give you books that have yet to be published.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy and cool that you have access to this information that the rest of the world doesn't have. And it's just sitting on a pile.
Yeah.
It seems like such a top secret thing, and it's just sitting on a pile of its desk.
Like,
so I was able to like
also
flip through. Well, I flipped through a couple of them, so partially read.
Yeah.
But fascinating. Everyone's desk has its own little like personality and little like personal effects and things, like decorations. I walked past one person's desk and there were like several pairs of high heels under her desk. I guess
She's
just
probably a
like,
TV anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to have.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about the desks around us was the desk behind you, casually draped over the chair, was a SWAT team jacket.
Yeah. Well,
so
I have
spent the whole day wondering about that.
You didn't even ask.
No, I didn't, because I was like, I'm going to talk about this on the podcast.
Okay, well, the guy who sits there doesn't know.
What?
It was there when he got the job.
That's so much better than I even hoped.
Yeah, it's just there.
The mystery of the SWAT jacket.
Yeah.
And he's just left it there out of respect for the SWAT jacket
He's also
itself.
left, like, a bunch of stuff on the desk, like, a toy bride and groom. And I was like, why do you have a toy bride on your desk? And he was like, it was there when I got here.
The mystery.
Yeah. So, I want to know who used to sit there.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
You should find out.
Yeah.
Or maybe the mystery is better. Maybe not knowing is more interesting.
Maybe.
But I was thinking that I had, like, the most absurd... Because I thought that whatever you were going to say would shed light on it to a point where it would no longer be as interesting. But it's even more interesting.
Yeah.
That is fascinating. Yes, so other things from your work. There was a giant table in the hallway just in front of the doorway to the kitchen all day that people put, like, random extra pastries on.
Yeah, we got chastised for that because they were like, there are diseases going around. Don't eat open food and don't put out open food.
Is that why the table was mysteriously gone halfway through the day?
Oh.
The entire table. It was a large table. And it was just gone.
Maybe.
It was weird.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Yeah.
They also have a slab of concrete in the entranceway that has, like, the original floor from Germany or something?
I don't know.
I think it was from another country, from the building that AOL was founded in, that had, like, scratched into the concrete, like, a certain number of followers. I guess it wouldn't have been, I don't remember. You might have to fact check that one, because I don't really remember exactly what it said. But there was a large concrete slab with markings historical historical significance to the company.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. So yeah, that was your work. It was fun. A couple of things from your house. You have a cuckoo clock in your dining room.
I do.
And
which people often comment on when I have an interview because
yes.
it'll like go off and they'll be like, "Was that a cuckoo clock?"
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It was indeed.
So absurd even in its sheer existence.
Yeah.
But the other absurd thing about your cuckoo clock, which I find wonderful, is that it's hanging on the wall about, like, I don't know, 6 feet above the ground.
Yeah.
But the chain of the cuckoo clock goes basically all the way down to the floor. And the cuckoo clock itself is smaller than a bread box.
Yeah.
And it has this, like, absurdly long chain.
Yes.
And I just find it such a delightfully absurd proportioned object.
Yeah.
Which I know cuckoo clocks are kind of like that, but some of them are kind of contained.
Yeah. It's a very long chain.
It's very long. And I find it, like, delightfully absurd. Also, in your pantry, I found the tiniest potatoes I have ever seen.
They're so cute. Every time I pass them, I'm like, "Oh, those potatoes are so cute."
Those little potatoes. They're smaller. They're like the size of marbles.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
That's not even an exaggeration.
I know.
They're smaller than
don't wanna eat
eyeballs.
'em. Just give them little faces.
I know.
Make a little stop motion film.
Exactly.
Potatoes.
Potatoes, little potatoes. Yeah, and then the last thing that I have really, I mean, there are more things that I'm sure I can come up with, but you have near your house an indoor skydiving facility.
Yes. I do.
Which is bizarre.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of such a thing.
Well, do you know how it works?
No. It doesn't even look as tall as it would need to be.
Yeah, because it's not actually skydiving. It's like, my understanding is that there's like air blowing up from the bottom and you just kind of like...
it's like kind of a vacuum deal? Well, not a vacuum. Like,
yeah, the air is like pushing you up and you're just kind of like...
floating.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
That would explain why it didn't... Because we were driving past it today and I'm like, that does not look tall enough.
Yeah.
To even be...
That's
any fun at all.
I just, yeah. I don't think it's skydiving.
Wow. Well, it's bizarre. I want to know now whether there are indoor skydiving facilities all over the country or if it's like only in the general New York, New Jersey area.
I bet they have them in California.
Oh, probably.
Maybe like Chicago. I bet they have them in like major markets.
Yeah. Well, it's very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah. Well, I've decided, there was this one story I was on the fence about telling, but I think I can tell it as my personal story.
Do it.
It's half a story, half a personal story, because I reported it myself.
That counts.
So, this is an exclusive for The Absurdist.
Hey.
I'm really excited.
I'm excited.
So I'm part of this really fun Facebook group called New Urbanist Memes for Transit-Oriented Teens.
Wow.
Yeah. They recently were in the news because they endorsed Bernie Sanders, but it's actually just like for like people who are passionate about public transportation. And there's a related group called MTA Memes for Perpetually Swiping Teens, and that's specifically for like commuters in the New York City area. And not just commuters, just, you know, public transit users of all forms. So a few months ago, I saw that someone posted that they wanted to go to the New York Transit Museum, but that they didn't want to go by themselves. And last week, I saw that person post again. Here's what they said. Just over 3 months ago, I made a post here asking if anyone would go to the Transit Museum with me and be my museum buddy because I have anxiety.
Aww.
So many of you did. One person in particular caught my attention, though, mostly because I didn't think he'd pay attention to me or my post that much, but I thought he was a nifty guy. Now, 3 months later, thanks to this cute little group, we went to Philly, we've been on the 15/27 lines in the NYC subway together, and today we finally went to the Transit Museum.
Wow.
Yeah. Then they posted some pictures. of the guy who went with them. His name is Eric Buckley.
Okay.
And you know how like when you take a picture of someone, you can almost tell like how the photographer feels about the subject because of like, I don't know, you can
see it.
Yeah. And from the pictures attached, I was just like, I think they're in love. So I actually messaged them on Facebook and was like, hi, I saw your post. This person's name is Sunny Suero. We got on the phone and I asked to kind of hear their love story. So I'm going to tell you what Sunny said. I've always wanted to be better friends with him from his posts on Facebook. I thought he was funny and endearing and someone I wanted to be closer to. He said, I thought you were a cool and funny person too, which I thought was crazy. How does someone have an opinion of me? I assumed I was invisible.
Aww.
But I wasn't invisible to him. And that was amazing to me.
Wow.
So Sunny says they actually went on their first date on November 15th. And they went out to a Thai restaurant and walked around and talked about architecture and took the subway to different places. And now 3 months later, on around like February 15th, I think it was, they went to the Transit Museum finally. And so Sunny was like really impressed that Aaron can read a switchboard, which is where they have like obscure signals that show where the trains are going. And Sunny was really impressed. They said he could read it. And I was like, excuse me, sir, that's kind of cool and a little hot. We had such a good day. It reminded me of our date in Philadelphia. He just knows things. He's so adept at transit. I call him my little Atlas because he just knows things.
Aww.
So that's my wholesome love story.
Wow.
That I was so privileged to hear.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at these two little
so
train
cute.
nerds falling in love, and I can say that as a fellow train nerd.
As a fellow train nerd. That was delightful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that's all we have for the Absurdist this week.
That's all we have. So we would like to thank you all so much for listening. Big thanks to our producer, as always.
Who is with us at this moment.
Wearing headphones.
Say hi.
And I'll be in my bedroom making no noise and pretending I don't exist. Yes. So, yeah, we'd like to thank all of you who are listening. And if you want to support this podcast, send us an email at
theabsurdistpodcast.com.
Very good. Is that an email address?
Oh.
I was like, that is not an email address.
Wrong.
But you can find us at theabsurdistpodcast.com.
Otherwise, you can contact us at contact@theabsurdistpodcast.com.
Perfect. So, contact at theabsurdistpodcast.com. If there's anything weird and interesting that you want us to talk about, send it our way, and we might talk about it on the podcast. So...
have an absurd week.
Yeah. Bye.
That's how you end every phone call.
Bye.
The Absurdist.